Not Afghanistan, Pakistan is more than you expect. Something to show that the situation has changed. I think it's a hurricane or a tornado.
I think
It's coming.
I think we might have to move soon because now we chose like literally the
moment
worst
you see
day.
a monkey falling down, I think we have to go.
I would get like so scared. I would scream. Would you save me from
Yeah,
a monkey?
absolutely.
Would you fight the monkey?
Maybe not, but I will run.
Do you have your shots still? Like what if it bites you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's move. I think I see a little bit of sun over there, so...
Yeah, let's go to the sun. Let's follow the sun.
Oh, God. So, what do you think has been the most surprising thing about Pakistan for you so far?
People are polite, helpful, and nice. So this is one thing that I didn't expect this. So.
Wow, this is mental.
I see the sun.
Yeah, yep. Wow, but this is normally like pretty packed here, but now I guess during Ramadan it's not so
No, just
popular.
today we have a very nice day.
How do you like the weather besides from this crazy storm?
Not today.
Not today.
In this moment, I think about if I closed the windows of my house.
Yeah.
That is the only thing
Right?
I'm thinking about.
That's pretty crazy. But the heat, like how are you dealing with that?
I'm from the south of Spain, from Granada, so for me the heat is not a problem.
Yeah?
But really, it's like just I have problem with cold temperature.
Yeah, but like, oh my God.
I think you chose the worst day of the year.
I'm sorry, I think the choice was up to you. Oh, this is not what I expected. I mean, this is like the hottest time of the year. And actually, usually I would really like this kind of weather, but like right now, I feel like we're gonna...
Even the monkeys left.
Yeah, they left us alone.
Over there.
Yeah. Oh
really?
my God. Besides the weather, have you faced any like real challenges adjusting to the country or the culture? Because it's quite different from the West, right?
For me, the worst thing the first week was to drive on the other side because the right side is the right side.
Exactly.
So yeah, but little by little. At the end, I think Spanish people and Pakistani people, we share many things in common.
Yeah.
And yeah, the way of understanding life, food.
Yeah, this was a nice experience, although I wish the weather had been better, right?
Definitely quite an experience. Maya, I have to go. I have an iftar.
Okay.
So I will see you later.
Yep, we'll go have dinner then.
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay, your car's here?
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect. So, thank you and see you later.
See you later.
Okay, time to take a short break. See you later.
Naqvi, Indus News, Islamabad.
I have turned the keys of history and unlocked the beauty of Asia's past. In a place that is both far away and at the center of the universe. I am not the same person that I was when I entered the first gate, on a life-changing journey of warmth, affection, and hospitality not found in today's world. Through the 13 gates, I traveled and was swept up by the aroma of ancient spice. My heart pounded down with the raindrops on my boot studs. Music from the drummer, from the sage tapping on tree leaves. Thunder roared dying empires that once called this place home. Where birds scissor in the twilight emerald sky. The same sky where man learned that the stars are speaking to us. even now, predicting us for a future that I have now come to tell. This is a story of hope, a story of the people of Pakistan.
Welcome back. I've reached Espardes and looks like Fernando's already here. Hello, there you are, long time. So, how was your iftari?
It was my first iftar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my first time in Pakistan. And food excellent, and excellent conversation, and very nice people.
I would love to hear more. What did you eat?
A lot of barbecue and a little bit of fish. And I don't know why they put also sushi. I don't think it's really Pakistani.
That's not really traditional, yeah. But they didn't give you any tea there?
No, I ordered my tea.
Okay.
And also another for you.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. How has your experience been here during Ramadan? Has it been difficult for you?
Not really, because I'm Christian. I don't follow Ramadan, but I see all my friends and also the employees at the embassy. And yeah, on the one hand, they are enjoying, or they are a little bit complicated to work when they are fasting.
Everyone's a little bit tired, right? But you have this tradition of like taking a siesta in Spain, right?
Yeah, yes, in summer it's quite hot, so usually after lunch we used to take a nap of 30-40 minutes.
Do you do that here as well?
Unfortunately, no. I work a lot.
You don't have a bed in your office?
No, but it's a good idea.
It would be, yeah. It could be. All right, so you're still hungry?
I wouldn't mind to eat a little bit of chicken.
A little bit of chicken, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe we can get a waiter. What's been your favorite thing in Pakistan so far, like out of everything, all your experiences?
Traveling.
Traveling?
Yeah.
So
I can say in the last 10 months I have been traveling around the country, from Karachi to Lahore, Sialkot, Hunza, Peshawar, Mardam. Yeah.
That's a lot. Like you've really gotten to see all of the country almost,
I've
right?
been on the road, yes, in the last month. But it's a pleasure to enjoy a country which is absolutely out of the Lonely Planet guide. So you can understand and see many things traveling around the country.
And it's so diverse, right? Like it's completely different in Karachi, and then something like Hunza is like complete opposite, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago I had the opportunity to travel with a flamenco group came to Islamabad, so we traveled from Islamabad to Lahore and then to Karachi, and I had the opportunity to see the country from that point of view with new people. They didn't know anything about the country, so it was amazing to see their faces when we arrived in Lahore and then we were in the middle of Karachi, or we were visiting Mahal in Islamabad. So 5 Spanish enjoying absolutely Pakistan.
Wow, so tell me, how did this flamenco group get to Pakistan? That sounds quite unusual, right?
Okay, it's unusual, but not really, because in the last 3 years we have bringing flamenco groups to promote Spanish cultural activities in Pakistan. And that's it. This year was a flamenco dancer, Alba Heredia, and it was a real success in Islamabad, Lahore and Karachi.
Wow, so you went to all like 3 cities as well.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. And here we had a charity event and gala show. So it was different from Lahore, that we had the big concert in Jinhana Club, and then in Karachi something different, more exclusive in the boat club.
Wow.
And we are going to do this for next year, and I hope that you can see also.
Hey. Thank you. So, Fernando, what do you like? What kind of food do you like to eat in Pakistan?
I like rice.
Yeah.
and I'm meat lover. So I think I will go for a chicken boti.
Chicken boti, okay. I think, have you tried palak paneer ever?
Nope.
Okay, so then I'm gonna get some palak paneer and we'll get some roti.
Are you going to share with me?
Maybe I will. Thank you. But yeah, so this flamenco thing, I mean, is that part of like something that your embassy does? You said like you promote cultural exchange. What else have you done?
For example, every single year in December, we bring a guitarist, classic guitar, and also the same Islamabad, Lahore, and Karachi, in order to promote the Spanish guitar and our cultural heritage, which is quite similar also with Pakistani heritage as far as Sindal is concerned.
Okay, that's really interesting. And how has the response from the Pakistani audience been?
They love it.
Yeah?
They love it. And also many people came to me and told me that in Sindh, they really have something similar to flamenco, the Sufi mystic dancing and the music. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's very difficult to trace the origin of flamenco, but it is said that it's coming from Sindh, from the southern part of Sindh. Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's
fascinating.
One of the top secrets of
that only
Spain.
You have the key to.
But in theory, gypsies came from Sindh, and then they
the
traveled
Roma people. Yeah.
They traveled to Europe, so then they went to Egypt. But it was in Andalusia, by the way, my region, where they found the place, the perfect place to mix the music, Arab music, Spanish music, and flamenco music all together. That is why the best singer and dancer are coming from Spain, especially from the southern part of Spain, Andalusia.
That's fascinating. I seriously had no idea. And that actually makes sense because have you actually seen the Sufi dancing in Sindh? You've seen it there? Yeah, it's quite wild. I wouldn't like immediately make a connection with flamenco.
There is a connection. It's very difficult to trace them, as I said, because it was totally oral. But in the last 200 years, we have seen that connection. And the funny thing also is there is the Kalo, their language is quite similar to one language of Sindh and part of India also. I think it was the Maratha. Is a language.
The one that the Roma people speak. Yes, I've actually noticed a similarity there. Yeah, it is related. Yeah, yeah, fascinating. So, did you know about this connection before you came here, or?
I have to say yes.
You did know? Is it like common knowledge in Spain?
No. It's a well-known fact that it's 100% Spanish. But if you want to know more, they will think that at the end it's fusion. Different ideas, different rhythms coming from Asia, a little bit of Egypt, a little bit of Africa, and then Spain.
Yeah. So which city in Andalusia are you from?
I'm from the southern part, Granada. It's between Cordoba and Seville.
Yeah, and that region also has like a very rich Islamic history, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. The Islam came to Spain in 711, and at the end there was different wars, and Islam left the peninsula in 1492. So, but also the language is a mixture of Arab, Romance, and Latin. So all together.
Yeah, and do you notice any similarities between like the architecture in your hometown and maybe some of the Mughal?
A lot of, for example, the greatest monument in Granada is Alhambra. And also if you go to Cordoba, you can enjoy the mosque because it's one of the biggest mosques in the Islamic world. So yeah, everywhere. Wow. And also the name of cities, the name of rivers. The biggest river in my region is Guadalquivir, which means the great river, the greatest river in Arabic.
In Arabic, yeah, that's fascinating.
We are very proud in Spain of our Islamic heritage.
Is that true?
Yeah. And also when you talk to Pakistani people, they know a lot of things about my country because of the history and culture, popular culture.
Wow. And then you mentioned that there's like a big Pakistani community specifically in Barcelona.
In Barcelona.
Do you have any idea, like, okay, you mentioned that maybe because the weather is better, but
much better than in London.
But that's really interesting because like I had no idea when I went to Barcelona. Then I started noticing like, oh, Pakistani.
Correct. They are from the region Gujarat.
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 Yeah.
Most of them, they are working they have corner shop. They are taxi drivers. They're well connected. To tell you the truth, my first experience with Pakistani people, it was I think like 7 or 8 years ago. I took a cab in the middle of Barcelona.
Yeah.
The driver was looking at me and saying, "Are you from Pakistan?"
Oh, really?
And I say no. So 2 minutes later, he asked me again, "Are you not from Pakistan?" Sure. And I told him, my mother told me I'm Spanish, but now I have to talk to her. Yes, it's true. Now I realize that we Mediterranean, we look also very Pashtun.
You do. Did you encounter that in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa when you were traveling there?
When I was to Peshawar, I put my Shawwal kameez on, and I was totally Desi. 100% local.
Yeah, nobody even like noticed.
No.
That's great.
They start talking to me in Pashto, so I think that they realized that I was not from Peshawar.
But then you just have to act like you can't talk. You're just like dumb.
Like this, something like this.
Exactly.
Dumb.
Then you're just like,
good.
No.
Next time.
Yeah. Great. So tell me a little bit more about your travels. I mean, that must have been quite interesting, getting to go to all these different regions. What's your favorite so far?
3 weeks ago, I went to Fairy Meadows, Hunza, Karinabad, Gilgit, Pakistan. It was a great experience. We don't have that in Europe.
No.
You know,
like
these beautiful mountains around these very long valleys. We don't have that. And also, I had a good experience in Sargodha, the capital of the oranges of Punjab.
Really? What? I didn't know that. It's the capital of oranges?
The city is famous, or the region is famous for its oranges.
You are teaching me so many things today, Fernando.
It's a pleasure. Next time I will bring the PowerPoint.
So yeah, what happened there? Did you get to taste the oranges?
Of course, yes. I had a couple of friends who showed me their fields, and so we were going in the middle of the sugarcane, oranges. Yeah, it's a different experience. It's only 3 hours away from Islamabad.
Oh,
yeah.
Also
so 3 hours away from is real countryside.
Yeah. Wow, and the real rural Punjab.
Rural Punjab, yeah. You can enjoy also all the irrigation, all the water, and also you feel something different.
What was that like? Just a random trip? You were like, "Ooh, let's go to Sargodha," or
yes,
it was
a friend of mine told me, if you want to meet something different, let's go to Sargodha. But I realized that Sargodha is not very popular for local tourism.
Yeah, or literally, you're probably the first foreigner I've heard who's actually gone there,
The
right?
police has played me several times. I was one of the few tourists in the last year, so yes. But this
interesting. And did you get to try some of the sugarcane juice?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but maybe it's too sweet. Definitely, but
I actually quite like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
No, you had to taste the oranges with real Sargodha oranges.
That sounds yummy. Maybe I'll make it there one day. All right. So what did you think about Karachi? Did you get to like roam around the city a lot, or you just kind of went from hotel to meeting?
Yes, I was moving around, and it's a huge city.
It is massive,
it's
right?
Massive, yeah. And totally different from Lahore or from Islamabad. But you feel it's a big capital.
Yeah, and
it was and it is.
Exactly, it used to be the capital, and I mean it's still the commercial center, so that's where I don't know. I mean, I haven't been, but everything I've heard and seen, you know, it seems like it's quite cosmopolitan in a way. Yeah, and there's like art galleries and whatnot, and Did you go to the beach there?
No.
You didn't go swimming?
No. No.
I don't think that's possible, yeah. I don't know if people go swimming there.
There is a beach, French beach, yeah.
There is a French beach, wow.
The name of is French beach.
Interesting. Wow. But yeah, so Pakistani food. Is it too spicy for you?
Yeah, a little bit. I like spicy food, but it's a little bit spicy. Yeah, and also my stomach feels it. Yeah, sometimes he's in order need of discipline.
All right, while we wait for the food, it's time to take a small break. See you in a bit.
Jack Parrock, Indus News, Brussels.
Welcome back from the break, and I think our food is ready. Yeah, are you ready to eat again?
Hallelujah, I'm hungry.
Seriously? They didn't feed you well?
It was a long day.
It was a long day.
Oh.
Thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. So, how do you like Pakistani food?
I like Pakistani food, and also I like tasting spicy food.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes I have my problem with my stomach, but most of the time is working well.
All right. What's your favorite Pakistani dish so far?
I like barbecue, Afghani, also food like
That's not
mantu.
Pakistani. That's Afghan.
Afghani food, yeah, Kabul food.
Yeah, no, Kabul restaurant is very good. I like it. What about like all the, curries
What?
with gravies? Do you like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff? Or only barbecue? Yes, please. Don't mind if I do. Yes, please. No, that's enough. That's enough for sir here. Wow. Do you have anything like this in Spain?
Yes, but not so spicy, and the quality here is quite high. Yeah.
The quality here is better?
I would say it's really good.
Really? Yeah. No, that's true. Yes, please. This is actually one of my favorite dishes in Pakistan.
Oh, spinach.
Yeah, with palak, like the...
Super healthy.
That's fine, thank you. Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, if it's not very oily. Oh, now you're scared. So, what do you mostly eat here? Do you eat like Western food or also Pakistani?
Half Pakistani, half Western. Yeah. Usually when you go to some hotels or you go with other members of the diplomatic community, yeah, you'll be half Pakistani. Yeah, Italian, Spanish food, French.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in your line of work you have to go to quite a lot of these official dinners, right?
Yeah, I have to say that every single day I invited to an iftar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. No, I find Pakistani people very polite and welcoming.
Yeah, I mean, you always get invited to so many things, right? And everyone's like constantly feeding you.
Correct. They open their houses for you.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. Has that been like surprising for you? Was that night like not something you expected?
No, definitely not.
Really?
No, you don't expect these people. You are going to meet people in a party, and the following day they are going to phone you to invite you for dinner.
Yeah. So have you made a lot of Pakistani friends then?
I have met a lot of Pakistani, and I think I have very good friends from Pakistan.
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, so how would you say like your interactions with Pakistanis have changed your perception of the country? Or have they? Maybe they haven't.
No, they have changed. Usually it's another point of view when you talk to local people
Yeah.
that you have read about the country, about politicians, history, economy. So yeah, I have to say that the more Pakistani I meet, the more I like the country.
Oh, really? That's really nice. And so here in Islamabad, I think like most of the...
This is spicy.
It is very spicy, yeah. Let's have some water. Ooh. Was it the palak paneer that was so spicy?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's the chicken, actually.
Or maybe a jalapeno
Maybe.
from Mexico.
Yeah. But yeah, but here in Islamabad, I mean, I think like it's kind of like a bubble, you know, like you mentioned, when you get out of the city, it's a totally different world, like the countryside in Punjab, and actually like the vast majority of the country lives a very different life, obviously, to what we see here in Islamabad. Do you feel like you get to interact with like maybe the lower sections, lower classes of the society at all? Like, do you get a feel for what life is like for the majority of Pakistan at all?
I have to say that's a good Spanish. I talk to everybody.
Yeah?
Maybe I talk a lot.
Yeah.
But I think Islamabad is an administrative city, so it's the place for administration, politician, business. So it's as you said, it's a different city.
Yeah.
But I think that you can meet so many people, so many different Pakistani people from Punjab, Baluchistan, Sindh, Pashtun. So definitely this it's a cosmopolitan in Pakistan.
Yeah, absolutely. There's people from all over. And I mean, I'm sure your staff members are Pakistani as well, right?
Yep.
What about your cook? Does she/he cook you Spanish food ever?
Yeah, I think at my place we cook a lot gazpacho.
Oh.
Spanish. This is a Spanish soup and also paella. Yeah.
I remember. Yes, at one of your gatherings you had.
Yeah, it's true that when you invite a Pakistani to your place, they want to eat Spanish food. They don't want to eat desi food. Yeah, so I try to please them with the Spanish gastronomy.
Yeah.
Always we try to find some croquettes or a Spanish tortilla in order to please them. So it's a pleasure to feed people.
Yeah, that's true, and that's very Pakistani of you. So you've trained your staff to cook Spanish food, actually.
Yeah.
How is it? Is it as good as it is in Spain?
Sometimes I have been abroad around 5 years. Yes, no, the gazpacho is very good, and also paella. But I try to mix them. I would like to make a fusion between the Spanish cuisine and Pakistani cuisine. It will be something like biryani and paella or gazpacho lentil soup. So, but we will see.
Maybe you need to open a restaurant like that. And
I wouldn't mind.
So is there anything that you miss in particular from back home?
Oh, there's some family, some friends, yes. But I have to tell I'm quite happy living here. Yeah. There's
enough for you to do here, enough to experience.
I think it's a well-known fact that Islamabad is an urgent need of entertainment. So they need more cinemas, theaters, open activities, and also I also, as we saw last time in the Euro Village, around 6,000 Islamabadi. The country need to develop more festival, concert, because people really want to get out, enjoy this weather without the wind.
Yeah, exactly.
With no wind. And enjoy the weather, the cuisine, the time, and also family time. Yeah,
that's very true. I feel like a lot of Pakistanis are really hungry for entertainment, right? You can really see it at all these events.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's one thing that we like to promote from the Spanish Embassy, cultural events, and also a little bit of cinema, theatre, music is our way to mix with the social civil society.
Oh, really? And is that are you bringing Spanish movies into Pakistan as well?
We want to do at the end of September. We want to do something like a Spanish cinema week.
Oh, really?
I would like to make a mixture of family cinema, something like cartoons. Because we want to bring families to this kind of events and enjoy also the Spanish culture with them.
That's really nice. And are a lot of Pakistanis interested in going to Spain, in terms of studying there or something like that? Is there a lot of interest?
Yeah, for example, from the point of view of visa, we are issuing around 30,000, 35,000 visa a year.
Okay.
So there is an interest. Mainly to the big destination, Barcelona, of course,
for
Madrid,
tourism.
Marbella, Malaga. So yes, there is a great interest. And then little by little we try to open for working visa, also education.
Yeah. That's nice.
We are an open country.
Yeah.
And we are really happy to bring more and more people every single year. We are the second most popular destination in the world. Don't ask me the first one, I don't remember. But the second one is Spain.
Seriously?
Yeah, around 80 million people mainly tourists came last year to Spain. So that is our way. As I told you before, really I think we can also help Pakistan to develop its resources as far tourism is concerned.
Yeah? You think there's potential in Pakistan?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah?
The north, the mountains, the south, seaside, cultural events. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day.
Yeah, it needs also our experience.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think it's still going to take some time to get the whole thing going, but definitely there's a lot to see and experience here. Yeah, yeah. And how many years do you have left here still?
It's be 3 years post. No, yeah, so 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
You're going to be spending quite a lot of time here still.
A pleasure.
Awesome. But yeah, so you seem to really like meat. Have you ever gotten the chance to try some Pashtun food here?
Yeah, in the houses of my Pashtun friends.
Oh yeah?
Yes, one of them recommend me to go to Kagan Valley.
Oh really?
Yeah, and that is why we do our charitable gala, also a flamenco show. We were sponsoring a school.
Oh really?
Yeah.
In the Kagan Valley?
Yeah, Kagan Memorial Trust.
Okay.
And that is why we were enjoying the views, the food there, and also paying attention to this school. And
that's really nice.
We decided to sponsor and be part of this fantastic project.
Oh, that's great. And so you've been to Kagan Valley, right?
Yeah.
How did you like it there?
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's very pretty, right?
Yeah, everything so green. It looked like Switzerland. And
it's
then
better, in my opinion.
It's cleaner.
It's
It's cleaner and
really,
it's purer.
yeah, yeah. And you can actually see the stars there, like at night, which you can't really see in Europe, right?
No, definitely not. So Kagan Valley, yeah, in my heart, has a special place.
Is there like that's your favorite trip that you've made?
One of the best one.
Why is that? Besides the views, is there anything like that?
We visited at a school around 600 children, talking to them, seeing what is the situation of their families also, the education.
Yeah.
The possibilities to change their lives
That's
with
really nice.
the support of other embassies, Spain. And I really like it to be part of this project. So
Yeah.
it was one of the best
I mean,
experiences.
It's an earthquake affected area.
Balakot, 2005.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's when the whole area got destroyed, right? Yeah, and then
They decided to give a good opportunity to the orphans of this earthquake.
Yeah.
2 friends decided to set up this project, and in the last 10 years, several countries, Poland, the Netherlands, Spain, have supported this project.
yeah, now that sounds amazing.
Yeah. So a little work here in Pakistan.
Yeah, you're doing some good work clearly here.
Yeah.
So is now that you've been here for 10 months, right? Is there anything that you would say is similar between the Spanish people and Pakistanis? Have you found anything at all?
Faces, for example.
Yes, you do look.
No, but
alike
here
a
men they
little
have better hair. One thing that what annoys me a little bit is waiting. The Pakistani time is 45 minutes. In Spain, it's only 15, which is a lot. Can you imagine in Finland?
For me, that's just
punctual.
Well, actually, I have to say, like, I'm late for a Finn. Like, I'm always like rushing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting late. But here, like the timing, oh my god, it drives me crazy because I still expect everything to work like this, and then when it doesn't, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Some other thing that is not similar at all is after lunch with Spanish we spend time drinking coffee, talking, smoking. So maybe you start the lunch at 2 and you finish at 5:30. Here
Oh, really?
is like going home.
Yeah.
Dinner is at the moment they finish, they go home.
Yeah.
For us, it's midnight.
Yeah.
1 in the morning, so yes, we are not similar at all.
Yeah, wow, that's really, like, seriously, you spend that many hours at lunch?
We call it in
even
Spanish
on weekdays? So you can take like several hours off during work?
It depends. Work.
That's
in the
nice. Maybe I
afternoon,
should
yeah.
move to Spain.
Move to Spain. You will be happy.
No, I like it in Pakistan so far. So which one do you prefer, Spain or Pakistan?
Spain is my country, but when you choose the diplomatic career, you have to be able to enjoy your post and the new people you meet and your work, because really all members of the diplomatic career, we share that we are a patriot of our countries, but we really love living and representing our countries in other countries.
Yeah.
But for me, for us, it's 9 years abroad. So there is a moment you have to come back to Madrid, to the headquarters. And I think I'm also going to enjoy the new restaurants of Madrid and the new activities, theatre and the Spanish cinema.
Yeah, wow. This is such a nice place, this Saidpur village, because there's like culture here. There's like this old temple here. Have you been inside?
I like this part of Islamabad, this is a small village. Yeah, because you can feel it, all the restaurant culture and the Hindu temple.
Yeah, and I think there's also a Sikh Gurdwara there as well, which is really interesting because otherwise Islamabad doesn't really have much history. It was, established in the 60s and it's a planned city which looks very Western, right? But here you get to see like some of the culture and I really like it. Why did you choose this particular restaurant?
It's the seafood that I like it. The terrace is superb.
It is very pretty. Like I really like the way you can just kind of hang out here and it's very relaxed.
Yeah. It's a beautiful bed also. after dinner.
After a long, hard day of work. But okay, so now we've reached the part of the program where I always ask my guests to sign our visitor's book. So, please.
I'm ready.
Great. Yeah, so just
in Spanish or in English?
In English, please, so that our viewers get the message as well. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Let's see what you wrote. Thanks to Pakistan and Indus News, great hospitality. And thank you as well. I've had a lovely time, although the weather was absolutely insane, but we survived.
We survived.
And thank you for this lovely evening. Thank you for taking me to Saidpur village, and I hope you continue to have a great time in Pakistan.
Thank you very much, Maya. I really enjoyed the time with you and with Indus News.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, that's it for today. Please join me again next week. Goodbye.
Indus News, Washington.
Hello and welcome to Indus News live from Lahore. I'm Javad Tehami and these are the headlines. We start from Washington, where US airliners flying over the Persian Gulf have been warned to exercise caution amid rising US-Iranian tensions. The warning came from the US Federal Aviation Administration. In Austria, Vice-Chancellor Heinz-Christian Strache has stepped down after opposition calls to resign. Earlier leaked footage showed him discussing state contracts with a potential Russian backer in return for the political support. Moving on to Australia, where voting has closed in the country's 46th general elections. Ballot papers are being counted and the results are expected to be announced tomorrow. But exit polls show Labour is leading, overruling Liberal coalition by 52 to 48, indicating clear parliamentary majority. Moving on, Saudi Arabia has said that there is no global oil shortage despite a reduction in Iranian oil exports. Energy Minister Khalid Al-Falih said OPEC will do what it can to respond to the needs of the market. The Milwaukee Bucks have won their second game of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Toronto Raptors. The 125 points to 103 victory gave the Bucks a 2-0 lead in the 7-game series. Those were the headlines and detailed stories right after a short break. Stay tuned with Indus News. Welcome back. Now the stories in detail. We start from Washington, where US airliners flying over the Persian Gulf have been warned to exercise caution amid rising US-Iranian tensions. The warning came from the US Federal Aviation Administration. The authority warned the airliners of the risk of being misidentified. The advisory says civil pilots flying in the region should be aware of the heightened military activities and increased political tension. This came as Lloyd's of London warned of increasing risks to maritime shipping in the region. Austria's Deputy Chancellor Heinz-Christian Strache has resigned after a damaging video of him became public. He will be replaced by Transport Minister Norbert Hofer. The footage showed the Freedom Party's Strache discussing state contracts with a potential Russian backer in return for the political support. The footage prompted opposition calls for the far-right's Strache to resign, throwing the ruling coalition into crisis. The coalition has blown up just a week before Austria votes in the elections for the European Parliament. Moving on to Australia, where voting has closed in the country's 46th general elections. Ballot papers are being counted and the results are expected to be announced tomorrow. More details in this report.
Polls indicate the Conservative Liberal National Coalition are set to lose Saturday's election. A Labour Party win could give Australia its 7th Prime Minister since 2010.
I want to back your aspirations, the things that actually drive you, your goals, your achievements, to get a job, to buy a home, to save for your retirement, to live in your retirement. And the way to stop Labor's higher taxes on all of those things is to vote Liberal and Nationals today. Today is a choice. It's a choice about who you want to continue to be the Prime Minister of this country, myself, or for Bill Shorten to be the Prime Minister of his country with higher taxes.
Either major party will need 77 seats to secure a majority in the House of Representatives. The campaign has been dominated by concerns about the economy and climate change.
That's what I'm going to do. Okay to the drop point.
For more on this, we are joined by Richard Bruinsma, an Australia-based journalist who has been covering the lead-up to these elections. Richard, thank you for joining in. First of all, I'd like to know whether the counting is still in process or it has already been wrapped up.
Well, as you know, it's probably around just after 11 p.m. here, Australian time. The voting finished at 6 p.m, so the counting has started at 6 p.m, so it's been going for about 5 hours. And it's been quite an amazing night. It's been one almost unbelievable result so far, with the LNP, the party that was expected to lose government, now reportedly it seems it probably will keep government. So as mentioned earlier in the piece, the governing side needs 76 seats to form a government, or more if possible, and already the LNP is somewhere in the sort of the low 70s as seats that have been declared as probably seats that they will win. Of course, there is a number of what they call pre-polling votes still to come, and also postal votes. So there'll be votes that come within the next few days coming to confirm those numbers. But at this stage, it looks like some sort of miraculous outcome for the LNP. So Scott Morrison, the current Prime Minister, who was expected to possibly lose to Bill Shorten of the Labor Party, it looks like Mr Morrison may in fact keep his position. Whether or not it's a minority government or a majority government is yet to be seen. But it's quite a lot of people are quite dumbfounded over here in Australia, and the Labor Party, which was expected to take over, is quite in shock at the moment, because it's a result that no one has expected.
Okay, Richard, as you've just already mentioned, that Scott Morrison might be in a good position to take the government from here, but already the government coalition has claimed massive economic gains already during its tenure. If that is so, why are certain polls that are predicting its defeat this time around?
Well, I guess a lot of people were very unhappy with the government because of the internal fightings that they've had and the instability that they've had over the last year, and also the big issue of the election was climate change, and the Labor Party was seen to have a superior policy on climate change for a lot of people compared to the government, the LNP government. But of course, the economy, of which the LNP is often seen as having a better track record on, was an issue that had dropped further down the list, according to a lot of commentators. But it appears that the economy was a top issue, and as we've seen in a lot of elections around the world, the opinion polls seem to have been not quite as accurate as we thought, okay. and the big issues were different. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Richard Bruinsma was updating us regarding the current developments as the vote counting in the Australia's 46th general election continues. Moving on to Saudi Arabia, which says there is no global oil shortage despite the reduction in Iranian oil exports. Energy Minister Khalid Al-Falih said OPEC will do what it can to respond to the needs of the market. Meanwhile, Iranian crude oil exports have fallen to 500,000 barrels a day following the US sanctions. Since the restrictions were reimposed, global crude oil prices have risen above $70 a barrel. Syria has said its air defenses have intercepted missiles over Damascus fired from Israeli-controlled territory. According to state television, several loud blasts jolted the city, but there were no casualties or damage. Israel has carried out hundreds of airstrikes in Syria, most of them against what it says are Iranian and Hezbollah targets. Meanwhile, the United Nations said at least 18 health centers have been attacked in the past 3 weeks in northwestern Syria. The attack led to a confrontation between Western powers, Russia and Syria at the Security Council. In another development, US President Donald Trump has said imported cars pose a threat to the country's national security. Trump said the country's domestic automobile industry is threatened by excessive imports of foreign-made vehicles. But he postponed a decision to impose a 25% tariff on imported cars. He directed Ambassador Robert Lighthizer to conduct the negotiations with the EU and Japan on trade issues and report back within 6 months. Meanwhile, the US has reached a deal with Canada to lift tariffs on steel and aluminium imports. The 25% duty on steel and 10% on aluminium will end within 2 days. The US Commerce Department said it may soon scale back restrictions on Huawei to help consumers. This comes after China downplayed chances of resuming trade talks with the US. IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde said the trade war between China and the US is a risk to the world economy. Moving on to hotly contested India's general elections, which have reached their 7th and the final phase. Voters in 59 constituencies across 7 states and 1 union territory will go to the polls. Nearly 10 million people are expected to vote in over 100,000 polling booths. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will contest the election from the seat of Varanasi. Other key candidates include Union Ministers Manoj Sinha, Ravi Shankar Prasad and Sunny Deol. The exit polls will be released after votes closing. The US has said a credible presidential poll is a must for the Afghanistan peace process. This comes a day after the Afghan Election Commission reversed the decision to use biometric devices in the upcoming voting. US envoy Zalmay Khalilzad said election planning must go forward while the US pursues the peace Afghans deserve. Meanwhile, Afghan political parties have also criticized the Election Commission's decision. Most parties held an emergency meeting to discuss the peace process and the presidential ballot. At least 8 policemen have been killed in a US airstrike during a clash with the Taliban in southern Afghanistan. 11 other policemen were wounded in the raid in Helmand province. A government spokesperson said the policemen were fighting the Taliban when they called for air support. The Interior Ministry said a joint delegation has been formed to investigate the incident. In another development, the United Nations has registered over 250,000 Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. The UN has also provided identification cards to most of them. The UN Refugee Agency said the registration could help counter human trafficking. In August 2017, nearly 750,000 Rohingya fled a military crackdown in Myanmar to cross into Bangladesh. Moving on, Norway says it hosted high-level talks to broker a solution to Venezuela's political crisis. The Norwegian government says it made early contact with the representatives of Venezuela's main political parties. Details follow.
A power struggle between President Nicolas Maduro and opposition leader Juan Guaido began in January. Guaido, backed by the US and many Latin American governments, has called for a military coup against Maduro since last month. But the government contained the situation. Reports of a meeting between the two sides in Norway's capital Oslo emerged on Thursday. Guaido confirmed he sent an envoy to Norway.
There is no negotiation. Again, I repeat it and I say it clear. This is an effort of Norway in a mediation that, by the way, has been going on for months.
But he denied that talks had been held with Maduro's delegation. Maduro said his representatives went to Norway to seek a peaceful agenda for the country. He thanked Norway for his mediation efforts to build a dialogue with the Venezuelan opposition.
In Sudan, hundreds of protesters have torn down barricades in a bid to resume talks on the handover of power to civilians, but they warned the ruling military council of more road closures if it does not respond to their demands. The military council had linked a resumption of dialogue with removal of the barricades. Having achieved significant breakthroughs, the talks were suspended by the military this week after the killing of 6 people. The discussions were held under a deal on the makeup of a new transitional council. Moving on, Germany's Seawatch humanitarian organization has rescued 65 migrants off the coast of Libya. They were making their voyage in a rubber dinghy. Libya's western coast is a main departure point for African migrants to reach Europe. They have to pay human traffickers in the hope of reaching the continent. The rescued people, including children, were traveling on a crowded boat. Improved efforts to close smuggling networks have recently reduced the numbers of people making the hazardous journey. Meanwhile, increasing tensions between Iran and the US have multiplied the risk of a military confrontation in the Gulf region. Iraqis are concerned a conflict would spill over into their already war-torn country. More in this report.
By pulling out of 2015 nuclear deal with Iran, US President Donald Trump has dismayed European allies. And now the US is ratcheting up rhetoric against Tehran. With a growing hostile situation between the two arch foes, neighboring Iraq can become a major conflict zone.
Iraq's security situation is still fragile, and if the war between the US and Iran erupts, I think Iraq would be the first to be affected. We cannot deny the fact that Iran has loyalists in Iraq, and if we want to be frank, it's the militias who are affiliated with Iran. They pose a grave danger despite the fact that Grand Cleric Sistani instructed that Iraq should dissociate itself from the US-Iran conflict.
Any escalation between the US and Iran would likely be played out at sea. Iraqis have showed apprehensions that the war could hamper goods transportation to their country.
If war erupts, Iraq will become an economic conflict zone between the goods coming from neighboring countries, the capital entering Iraq, and the recommendations of the World Bank, which is the main player in this matter. Iraq will also be a backyard for the war. Foreign interests will likely be targeted by Iraqi armed groups loyal to Iran.
The crisis will have immediate global trade implications affecting shipping at the key transit point of the Strait of Hormuz.
Meanwhile, Sri Lanka will commemorate the 10th anniversary of the end of the 30-year war against the Tamil Tigers on Sunday. The Tigers aim to create a separate homeland for the island nation's Tamil minority. 10 years ago, Sri Lanka's brutal civil war ended after the death of over 100,000 people. At its peak in 2001, the conflict had displaced 800,000 Sri Lankans. The government still has to return land confiscated after the war. The UK should block legislation that would give amnesty to war criminals, says the UN Committee Against Torture. The committee says all British personnel accused of torture or ill treatment should be held accountable. This report has more.
This week, Britain's Ministry of Defence announced plans to grant immunity for torture-related offences committed over 10 years ago. British veterans of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, as well as the troubles in Northern Ireland, are most likely to benefit from the move. The UN Rights Committee Against Torture has condemned the decision.
In our conclusions on the UK and with regard specifically to the accountability for abuses in Iraq, we also make it absolutely clear, paragraph 33 of the last sentence, the state party should refrain from enacting legislation that would grant amnesty or pardon where torture is concerned.
The UN committee also backed calls for independent inquiries into renditions involving torture. Already, it added, conflict-related acts of mistreatment and death are not being investigated.
That there are extensive number of allegations that the historical allegations team, the IHAT, received, that the these cases were then transferred to the service police, and the service police legacy investigation closed 1,100 out of 1,200 of the allegations.
Amnesty International UK's section has backed the UN Committee Against Torture's criticism.
It's a story about the unconditional love of mothers who in Libya's Misrata city send food parcels every day to their sons fighting on the outskirts of Tripoli. The food parcels are dispatched with poems and messages of love for the soldiers. Here are the details.
In Libya, women are waging a war at the culinary front. Around 100 women work in 2 shifts a day to prepare iftar meals for their sons, risking their lives in Tripoli.
With a warm heart, we came to motivate and encourage our sons. We are on the front line, to the point that we printed letters and distributed them among each other.
The food, donated by local business, is prepared in a villa transformed into a field kitchen by the women. More than 10,000 food parcels are sent each day.
Here in this group, we prepare few meals during the night and continue the work the next day. When everyone comes and if there is anything that we still need, they help us provide it. They are good people. They are also people who donate money, and we also buy meals. The number of meals reaches up to 2,500.
The mothers say their aim is to motivate the fighters and keep them in touch with home. They are convinced the messages attached with the parcels bring consolation to their sons.
For our sons and for the sake of the nation, we are ready to pay a dear price for the homeland, and for Misrata especially, because it gave us a lot and it is our duty to give back, even if it is a small part of what our children have given us and what this good country has given us.
Misrata's fighters have a reputation as Libya's best organized. They were at the forefront of the revolt 8 years ago that overthrew Muammar Gaddafi.
We've got some more interesting stories to share with you. Don't forget to tune in back after a short break. Welcome back. Our 4-day Chilam Joshi festival is being celebrated in the Kailash Valley to welcome spring. The annual festival takes place in Rumbor, Bumbarate and Birir valleys of northern Pakistan. The Chilam Joshi festival began by sprinkling milk on the deity and leaving it as an offering. To mark the event, the Kailash people wear traditional clothes and decorate their houses. Elders of the Kailash community also performed rituals in the Bumbarate Valley. The Chilam Joshi festival attracted a large number of tourists from the country and abroad. Pakistani mountaineer Muhammad Ali Satpara has scaled the 8,500 meter high Lost Peak in Nepal. The mountain is the fourth highest in the world. Satpara made the whole climb alone in an expedition that began last month. Organizers say the summit was not a part of Satpara's original plan. He had intended to climb the world's fifth highest mountain called Makalu Peak in Nepal. Satpara has climbed all 5 8,000 meter high peaks in Pakistan, including the K2. Robots from 10 countries have taken part in the Asia-Pacific Robo Cup in North China's Tianjin municipality. The tournament was conducted as a side event of the World Intelligence Congress. Here are the details.
From painting to poetry and music to science, artificial intelligence has made its presence felt in every endeavour. Now, robots can be seen playing soccer thanks to advances in AI.
The World Intelligence Congress is aiming to improve and support the robotic and artificial intelligence industry in Tianjin. This is the goal. The International RoboCup system has been going on for more than 20 years. They have accumulated a lot of experience in this area.
Around 400 competitors from 10 countries, including China, Italy and Japan, have brought their self-made, self-programmed robots to Tianjin in China.
Yeah, actually, this is our first test with this new robot, and we are now currently trying to put some of the stuff we have prepared before coming here.
One drawback: the RoboStars need their batteries recharged every 10 minutes.
A look into the world of sports, starting with the basketball. The Milwaukee Bucks have won their second game of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Toronto Raptors. The 125 points to 103 victory enabled the Bucks to lead the 7-game series by 2-0. Playing at the Wisconsin's Fiserv Forum, the Milwaukee Bucks conveniently sealed their second victory of the final series. Power forward Giannis Antetokounmpo dominated Raptors' defense throughout the game. Antetokounmpo scored 30 points, grabbed 17 rebounds and added 5 assists for the Bucks. Kawhi Leonard scored 31 points for the Raptors, but they fell short, 22 points to tie the series. The third contest of the 7-game series is scheduled for Sunday. Moving on to cricket, where England have defeated Pakistan by 3 wickets in the fourth one-day international. The victory enabled the hosts to seal the 5-match series by 3-0. In a thrilling match, England pulled off a last-over win with a loss of 7 wickets. Batting first at Trent Bridge, Pakistan set a challenging target of 341 runs. Pakistan's batsman Babar Azam top scorer with 115 runs. While chasing the target, England got off to a solid start as they were 2 wickets down of 201 runs. Star player Jason Roy outclassed Pakistan's bowling attack by scoring a quick-fire century. As the host middle order fumbled, all-rounder Ben Stokes' unbeaten 71 runs led his side to a successful chase. Both the sides will meet for the 5th and the final contest for the series on Sunday. And that is all for now. For further updates, details and live streaming, log on to our website, that is indus.news. Thank you for watching.
the Rori Gate, which is named after the city of Lahore itself, built by Malik Aiz during the time of Mahmud. A quarter of its inhabitants lived around the gate where the market Lahori Mandi, or the Lahore Market, thrived. As the city that never sleeps, Lahore is still vibrant and prospering today.
Well, it's a beautiful winter morning here in Lahore, and I am now entering one of the smallest gates of all the 13 gates. This is the Rori Gate, the namesake of the city of Lahore itself. And the three interesting things inside of this gate are the Naveen Mosque, which is one of the oldest mosques in all of Asia, and also Mati Chowk, which is where in the olden days all the prostitutes used to hang out. And even more interesting, and the very first place that we're gonna go and see is Askara, which is where wrestling started back in the olden days. It's basically what Pakistan would call its local dojo. So come with me to see Askari.
An akhara is the sandpit that wrestlers fight and train on in South Asia. If boxers can claim it a gentleman's sport, then Pakistanis surely would claim Pelwani to be its sacred sport.
So here we are at Akhara, where Pakistan's oldest wrestling gym. I like to call it sort of Pakistan's dojo, even though it's not martial arts. But wrestling is a huge ordeal in Pakistan. And in fact, the women, as I say, have gotten really good at it. Oh my God, look at this. It's like Jurassic. Wait, usually women don't stand on scales in front of people, but I don't think this scale is working. Let's see if I can weigh myself on it. Wow. Yeah, I'm so light, it doesn't even detect my weight. So here it is. Oh my heavens. This is Shida. But apparently Shida used to wrestle lions or just be very good friends with them. But they make a handsome couple either way. And here in the garden, oh my goodness, look at that archaic workout equipment. These old dumbbells. You can tell that this was one of the oldest wrestling gyms in all of Pakistan. And today it's still functioning. People are still coming here to work out and to train. And as I say, wrestling is a huge sport in Pakistan. But this is where the wrestlers would come out. And I guess they start like that. I don't know. I've never wrestled in my life and don't plan to start now. But wow, I'm trying to see if I see any traces. So I guess this is the training and people congregate around this. And this is where they have their competitions and their training. And this is actually quite a big deal in the Indian subcontinent. And there have been recent films out about wrestlers, including women and girls, young girls who've become extremely good wrestlers. I've just found out from Khalid, you're not meant to walk on the akhara because this is considered very sacred to them. So I didn't know, I've never walked on an akhara before or even seen one. So Khalid, my sincere apologies for walking on your akhara. I didn't know about that. I hope I haven't done any damage, but I apologize. How big of a deal is wrestling in Pakistan?
Yes, before 20 years, big wrestlers and very government arranged the dangal here. Many wrestlers, people come here, akhara. No, this time 10 to 20 years, no government suitable this program, kushti.
But wrestling in Pakistan,
yes.
How important? How important is wrestling for Pakistan?
Very good wrestling. Before the partition, many big wrestlers in Pakistan and India before the partition. After partition, our wrestler very famous and very powerful, who beat the Indian wrestlers, and after this, day by day, No, this time, this game very poor.
And what about female wrestlers?
Here is not a woman wrestler.
No women wrestlers?
No
and they
women.
don't wrestle one another?
Another games, many women, kabaddi, and another games, many wrestlers. Because he
But
is
women can't wrestle one another. There have never been two women out here on this avocado wrestling. Not one.
No.
Never.
No, never.
Only me, right?
Yes.
I'm the only woman that's been out
Yeah.
there. Again, I'm sorry. I would love to hear about this picture. This picture of him with that lion. Your father.
Yes.
Do they wrestle the lion?
As a share with the lion, because wrestler is very powerful.
Very proud.
Yes, and mind is very power.
Like a lion.
Like a lion, yes.
So, well, thank you. I don't want to keep any more of your time because we just crashed in here without letting you know we were coming. Thank you for letting us come
Pakistan
in.
is
all the
peaceful country, and you are from London. Very intelligent and beautiful, and very beautiful
kind.
talk people.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Holly, thank you.
Thank you.
Throughout the walled city, a myriad of colors brilliantly reflect from Mughal-cut glass, fruits, flowers, and here in the Rori Gate, it is no different with this gemstone market. Sparkling in colors of Afghan lapis lazuli, emerald greens, glistening from this fabulous market full of beauty.
So this is one of the most fantastic aspects of Pakistan, and that is it has incredible gemstones. And of all the markets that I've seen so far throughout the walled city, this is the most civilized, most serious, most organized. You can see it doesn't have the crazy buzz to it. These are very precious gemstones, and they're all coming from Pakistan. In fact, rumor has it that Afghanistan and northern Pakistan have more emeralds than all of Colombia. They just haven't been mined. Look at these, they're so pretty. This is onyx. I do love the feeling of gemstones. So are all these stones from Pakistan then?
Yes, Pakistan, Iran, South Africa, Sri Lanka,
Afghanistan.
Australia, yes, Bahrain, Moti.
What are the most prominent ones from Pakistan?
Pakistan,
If you would
emerald.
show me those?
Yes, emerald.
The emerald.
Emerald. This is a Swat emerald.
Wow.
Yes.
So beautiful.
The emerald Swat.
So I have this green ring.
Yes.
It's called
Onyx agate.
It's chrysoprase.
Yes.
It's supposed to be good for creativity, for art. So I do writing. It's from America?
It's agate. Yes.
Do you believe that stones have energy?
Energy, yes, yes.
Yeah, like they can help you? I read that rubies are good for love.
Reflection, sunflower light. Yes. Inning blood.
Don't let me steal
reflection.
these. I
Yes,
might.
Stone reflection, inning blood.
Oh, that is so interesting. So you always hear that stones have energy. And now for the first time ever, I'm learning that that's because the way the sun goes through and that goes into your bloodstream.
Yes.
This is so pretty. What's this stone?
This agate, Indonesia.
No, wow. Right.
Indonesia.
आपका नाम है?
Abdul Qayyum.
अब्दुल क़य्यूम. मेरा नाम किर्स्टन है. Kirsten.
Oh, thank you.
And
बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे
बहुत
मिलकर।
शुक्रिया।
बहुत शुक्रिया आपका भी।
I enjoyed it so much.
बहुत शुक्रिया। Thank you.
खुदा हाफिज।
Good afternoon.
I just want to touch it. Look, it's raining jewels. It really makes you want to grab them and throw them. I won't. I just really want to. Upper Mondi's market. I finally learned that after like 5 days. What is all this? Oh yeah, Papa Mandi. Assalamu alaikum. Kya ye drugs? Is this it's not narco-terrorism, no? He said no, it's not narco-terrorism. I'm a joke. But they're great colors. I like that. These are amazing. If I were going to make drugs, I would come to you because these are amazing. They look good. They look good. Thank you, Papa Mandi. I don't know. Okay, shukriya, bye. Okay, come on. Mashallah. Look at all these glass bottles. I mean, here, it's like loads of help. I finally found perfume. I found perfume. This is my very last, I'm at the very end, and I found something. Are this perfume? Assalamu alaikum. And all this, is this oils for food, for cooking? Animal oil. So, what about your perfume? Like, who makes this? Who make your perfume? Can I smell your perfume, please? Wow. I've never seen anything like this. Oh my goodness. You make this perfume. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Can I see this? So this is your old perfume. ये कितना पुराना है?
ये काफी से 4-5 माह 6 माह पुराना होता है।
Family?
बिल्कुल फ्रेश नहीं आता।
It is fresh. The formula. कितनी पुराना है? Formula.
कंपनी के पास है।
Aha. Lovely. It's beautiful. Shukriya. That's amazing. That's amazing. So now I'm at gate 4, Kamran, thank you so much. So that's the Rori Gate, and I struggled to pronounce it. So I just borrowed the whole Lahori.
Yeah.
Gate. Is that good?
You're doing very well.
Great, thank you. So the name of the gate is special, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's attached with the city of Lahore, and this city of Lahore, when it started growing in the walled city, this was probably the first area where the first settlements took place.
Oh, really?
So
wow.
That is why it is called the Rori Gate. And
nothing to do with Matahari.
No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
You can't find some way historically.
No, neither with the Malahari Rag, nor with the Lohars, which mean the blacksmiths.
Actually, I've heard a lot about opium smoking with the Mughals.
Right.
I might not be so far-fetched. I mean, that's one thing the walled city has done, is maintain itself.
Yeah, true.
All these years. I mean, you sort of can't imagine the history is unfathomable at times.
So I think when we compare it to many other parts of the walled cities of the world or the old towns. Something unique about Lahore would be the living businesses and lifestyle that still subsist, which was 200 years old, 300 years old.
There's a lot to be said for it, and I think it's very emblematic of Pakistan itself that it just keeps surviving.
That's right.
With everything falling, even the gates themselves.
Yeah, there has been.
It's still alive.
That's true. There has been so much upheavals and wars and conquests and then demolitions in Lahore, which over the sequence of.
So one question that sort of wraps up this journey has been so many things, wonderful honey, things like that, great spices and wonderful sights, architecture. I mean, I could go on. But it's also getting emotional, looking at what people have gone through, how they're surviving, the economy isn't great all the time, But when I look at some of the altruism, the schools being built, the donations, the thing, I would live in that Haveli and this person's given it up for school. So I would like to know, is that a Pakistan spirit thing, or is that an Islamic sort of Muslim trait, or is it a combination?
It is a combination, I think, and also the universal sentiment, which is the human sentiment. So they may be Christians, they may be children of the prostitutes, they may be belonging to any minorities, but they're all respectable in many ways, and we need to make it a more and more inclusive society, which for many, many thousands of years it has always been.
Okay, great. I've enjoyed this thoroughly, and I'm looking forward to the next gate. Cameron Lashari, thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you once again. Okay, goodbye.
Thanks. Naveen Mosque is situated in Chowk Mati, between the gates of Lahori and again the Shah Alam Gate. This mosque was constructed in 1460 and is one of the oldest mosques in all of South Asia. Wow, it's a very steep stairs. So I'm just entering Naveen Mosque, which is one of the oldest mosques in all of Asia, 4,000 years old. That's a pretty old mosque. And it's absolutely stunning as well. I know that I should not walk in here without my shoes. I happened to walk in right when prayers have started. So I must take my shoes off and be very respectful. One of the interesting aspects of Naveen Mosque is that it's actually built sunken. It's a 4,000-year-old mosque, and it's built under the city. So as you can see, I'm stepping down into it, and the staircase that leads down is extremely deep. In fact, an elderly man had to be helped by one of our producers to get down those stairs. It's a very simple mosque compared to Badshahi and the Wazir Mosque, the Wazir Khan Mosque that we've seen earlier in the walled city, which is extraordinarily impressive and ornate. And this is very humble, and it's very quaint, and probably given to its 4,000 years, they didn't have the same wealth yet. It wasn't the Mughals that were here just yet, so you didn't have that kind of opulence 4,000 years ago. I think before these men pray, I might respectfully leave quietly, but it's been a lovely visit. Valley, located near Chowkmati, is of the Mughal period. There are nearly 32 rooms in this building. After partition, the well-to-do family owners, like many others in the walled city, fell into hard times. And although this is an impressive Havali, it is massively deteriorating and the family cannot afford to restore and repair it, sadly. Today, it's rented out to various tenants.
So more signatures of a very peaceful gate, Rori Gate. And in here is the Nora Valley. So you can see that Nora Valley is still very much in disrepair. And in fact, so much so that I would say it wouldn't pass many health and safety standards in Islamabad or the West. But you can still see its exceptional beauty and artistry and architecture. And it is a bit sad to see this in such a state of ruin. It almost looks like a film set, literally. Almost looks like a movie set, and not just because we're doing a film. It looks like a real movie set, but it's not. This is the real McCoy.
Just inside Lahore Gate, there's a small entrance to the temple Mahal Chand Mandir, which was constructed by Lal Nahal Chand, a famous wealthy contractor of the day in Lahore. The temple is a cluster of 5 temples. I literally took my life into my own hands visiting this dilapidated temple gone noodle factory, which seems in some parts to be literally hanging by a string.
Wow, it is so dark in this old Hindu temple made of limestone. And in the walled city, there are so many temples, but this Nihar Chand temple is again 4,000 years old inside the Rori Gate. And I have to be very careful because these stairs are very treacherous and old. And I've made it up there kind of like me almost. So here you see, made of very simple materials. And you can still see this huge, incredible structure here in the center of this Hindu temple. Very signature and very typical of what you see even in India today. And some of the old Hindu temples that are left here in Pakistan, inside the walled city. The same man who designed the architecture of the Nihar Chand temple also designed the city jail. And today, in its disrepair, and it's fallen completely faint and is no longer used for worship by the Hindus. Instead, they make noodles here. It's not exactly the most intricate contraption for holding up a temple, an ancient 4,000-year-old Hindu temple from falling over. I'm gonna go ahead and think this is not my day to die and cross it. Inshallah. Inshallah. And it wasn't my day to die. apparently wasn't my day today. I'm not surprised to find cobwebs in a 4,000-year-old temple, but I kind of want to know what it's like to sleep in an ancient, famous Hindu temple. Yeah. Whew. It's pretty amazing. Can you imagine spending an entire night here? What kind of from the past may come and visit you? Maybe I won't try it tonight. And it's not exactly child's play to visit some of these old temples in the walled city. And just walking through all these little corridors in the walled city inside the Rori Gate. It's a nice way to wind down the day. Truly, truly, truly is. And you pass people's homes and they're actually coming and going. You realize this is not just a touristy place. This is home. For many, many people, this is home. All the kids are getting out of school. They're all running around saying, "Oh my God," making fun of me. Kids are kids everywhere. They're the same. Assalamu alaikum. I never know if they're going to make fun of me or be nice. See? Mashallah. Assalamu alaikum. Mashallah. What a beautiful little girl. Wow, look at that. Look at that. The lighting's so pretty. There's a red balloon. Oh, it's tied. I thought it was going to float away. People have their clothes out to dry, just like everywhere else. Like I should have at home. If only I could get to my laundry. I love they've got this little red balloon, like just floating up in the sky behind this ancient brick building. It's amazing, amazing scenery.
The Lahore Gate may bear the name of the origins of the city of Lahore itself, but to me, it very much boasts a hint towards a bright future.
Hello and welcome to Indus News from Lahore. I'm Japate Hami and these are the headlines.